welcome back to week number 4 of Nitro ASL here on the FP Esports channel. I'm your host for today, AR, and we have a good amount of action for you guys today. If you're wondering what this is Nitro ASL, brought to you by ASL Nitro and powered by Cork from Clear Access. This is absolutely insane. The school league of ACGL, over 500 students signing up for multiple different titles. Fortnite, Valorant, League of Legends, Rocket League, all competing to get the best amount of points. And then in term 2, those teams will be split and broken up into a premier division. If you guys want to get your school signed up, head on over to schools.acgl.gg and get your school signed up. But today we have Fortnite action for all of you. And we've seen a bunch of Fortnite action all throughout the week. Hell, we even have some more Fortnite action for you tomorrow. But today, we are getting into the nitty-gritty of things. We have a pretty packed lobby over here today. And from what we've seen over the past couple of weeks and yesterday, the in-games are going to be hot. But as of yesterday, these players have gone ahead and started getting a lot of kills in the middle of the game. That's something we're not used to seeing over here on the ASL front. They usually play the mid games very, very slow, but as of yesterday, they are engaging with each other. They are getting a bunch of different kills. They are pushing forward. They are realizing now that that in-game gets way too packed up to actually get any sort of kills there. So it means that we're going to be seeing a lot more action a lot earlier on in the game. The beginning of the game is still going to be a little bit slow. You know, everyone trying to loot up their best, get as much materials as possible, because again, this is build mode as we hop into the beautiful battle bus for one of the last few times over the chapter 5 season 1 map, with all the updates coming out very, very shortly. Everything in this game is going to change and flip on its head. A lot of people jumping out almost instantly. See a lot of teams heading towards Lavish Lair, trying to go ahead and maybe get that medallion, get that shotgun as well. We've seen how important it is. As we've mentioned before over here on ASL, the massive M's within this game is what you need. The medallions, the mythics, movement, materials, and meds. You have those, you go ahead and you're able to actually, last out that in-game. And we see exactly how how packed that in-game can actually be. But for now, it's going to be just a tad bit slow, as a lot of teams tend to move to the outskirts of the map, loot up, get their materials up, and then push forward, trying to go ahead and, get that medallions, get that mythics, as we see this player hitting a beautiful little headshot through that tree, not seeing the opponent over there, gliding in and managing to hit that beautiful shot. We are going to see them farm up a lot of materials immediately, and that's been the name of the game since the beginning of this term. These guys play the end game so well, to the point where there's still like 6 teams left, or 7 teams left within the final 2 zones, which is absolutely insane. Rambo, a familiar name to all of us over here on the ASL front, is shooting at someone moving towards that beautiful yacht, which might disappear within the next coming update. And now just trying to find any sort of shields, any sort of healing. And we do see a couple downs going on in the game. 61 players left as we are in our first zone. We move over to the snowy area where Noxy is down. He's going to get revived. Noxy needs to be revived as well, slowly bleeding out. V3 just missing that crash pad, gonna jump off the mountain, slide down strategically maybe. Hits that second one and now goes all the way down the mountain, hitting that beautiful movement and making so much distance away from the top and away from the enemy teams. And there is that slurp truck over here on this little shipwreck, which means that there is going to be a chance for full shields and full HP for this team. We see a lot of teams over at Classy Courts up north as well. Surely they will be going over to that medallion. But speaking of medallions, we are heading over to Snooty Steps. Peter Griffin taking a lot of damage instantly, and we just switch in time to watch Peter Griffin go down and that mythic shotgun to get picked up. Unfortunately, a lot of damage done over here to Peanut. Peanut also another name that we know of over here on ASL. Rebel Ray Rise on top, and Peanut winning a couple games last week. And they do it again this week. They are going to slowly go ahead and move to that vault, get as much loot as they possibly can. Classy Court seems to have a tiny bit of action going on. Classy Court has been a place that is somewhat a pretty warm drop. Not too hot, but still very, very good loot over here. We see combos is quite low as they are going to go ahead and try to get a few shots on an enemy. This is, of course, the PRG squad. The shockwaves going off from Bob, spotting the enemies on the rooftop. He's going to go ahead and play under them very, very slowly. Has the shields, has the health. See, Llama sees all three of them over on the roof, just playing time, playing this slowly. Bob hops in the Mustang. Llama is going to go ahead and get a second one. Right now, they are in prime position to actually maybe retreat if need be. It does seem like that is what they are going to be doing. That team on the high ground combos does have very, very little HP. Llama does have those clingers in hand as well, so could use that in any sort of build fight whatsoever. The SES team just owning Classy Courts right now, looking around for any enemies that could be nearby. No one has seemed to have gone yet towards Lavish Lair for that medallion. Fencing Fields, however, does have that team, which I do believe has gone ahead and claimed that medallion. If not, they are going to do it right now. They are going to go ahead and clean up the last few bits of guards that are around the area, and they will move to that vault. We see that mythic in hand of Enzo, that niche striker assault rifle. We talk about it so often. It is so powerful, does so much damage in such a little amount of time, and it's really, really essential. We see the heals on these guys, though. They have a bunch of Flowberry Fizz in their inventories, which means not only do they have that movement, they have that shields as well if things get a little bit messy. 56 players left alive as this first zone is going to be closing, and like we said, there is not much action within this first little bit. There is some of it, as we see over here. Kiwi did go down. Glitch now shock waving away from the enemies, trying to get as much distance as possible. Kiwi still alive, crawling towards some sort of safety, maybe trying to get in a position where it's easier to get that reboot card, or maybe even the revive. Move over to PRG Melky, trying to just go ahead and move up slowly on the edge of the map right now. And this is something that we have seen over the past few weeks for this first term. Everyone playing the edge of the map, trying to get as much loot and as much materials as possible. Melky going to go ahead and use that Flowberry first to get even more height with that zero gravity effect on that launch pad. Is now just going to go ahead and make their way towards the zone. We see where the zone has shrunk, moving away from the north right now. Teams up top, they are going to have to slowly move down south. Ritzy Riviera has a bunch of people over at it, all trying to find each other. We see the modded weapons over here, this little mini vault. Yes, back over here as a duo. They're going to move through a little bit of action immediately, trying to spray through. It gets shotgunned, unfortunately, by King Bob. King Bob now surely going to go ahead and confirm that kill, and they do manage to do so. Now only a solo left from this. We are going to be seeing a bunch of duos in this trio game. He's trying to drive away, but the opponent has hopped in the vehicle. And just like that, another elimination. That is going to be Mental claiming that kill. We've seen Mental before. Mental, King Bob, and Jordan. They're claiming 2 kills to their name. Remember, that is important because kills and placements do count to the points. And this isn't even for anything but seeding as of now. Once we hit term 2, these teams will be broken up into the Premier Division. So it's important for every one of these guys to go ahead, get every kill, get every placement point that they can. You see how they try that so hard. And in the end game is when the action will really start coming through, and when these teams will really start fighting for those kills and for that placement. But right now, a little bit of a slower game as King Bob does go ahead and shield up slowly. Has that keycard to go open that little mini vault down low. Get a little bit more weapons, a little bit more ammo. Maybe some gold if you need to top up on it. See actually a bunch of kills that has happened now since the beginning. 51 players still, however, in this game. We have a minute left on the storm as it is moving. Move over. That's like Chief is going to get a kill on Dragon, but unfortunately gets headed out almost instantly. Dragon is going to go down. Right now, that Flowberry Fizz in full effect on almost every team that we've spectated so far. Everyone knows that the movement combinations with it is insane. It is such a good item that they've added, and hopefully they do not get rid of that within this next coming update. Again, the update for Fortnite coming very, very soon, which means this entire game is going to flip on its head, and all of these guys are going to have to learn how to play this game all over again, how to learn the new mechanics, because there are some leaks and spoilers out there right now that seem very, very interesting. We move over to Nachos and Danny. They fighting over another PRG squad. Beautiful shots coming out from Danny over there. It does not confirm any sort of knock as of yet. That SMG doing a little bit of work, but they are in zone and need to watch their HP very, very carefully. Danny dropping all the way down. There is one knock over there from Chaos. There's the cleanup beautifully from PRG. A kill apiece. And just like that, 19 teams left in this game. 46 players, as the zone has shifted once more further to the southwest. The team now going to have to move slowly over towards there. There's Fidu still over in the zone near Lavish Lair. So curious to see exactly what's happening over there. Mr. Savage Duck, and Misery. Misery very low and only has that gray pistol. Surely they have been rebooted. Fidu over here in the zone. Perhaps trying to get Keval's reboot card. Maybe just get the teammate back into the fight. Unfortunately, though, that shotgun, that mythic shotgun is gone. Fidu can't actually get that. The reboot will go off. Will bring back the teammate. Some action over in Ritzy Riviera. You see, until King Bob. Unfortunately, King Bob does go down. Who is that? That does seem to be PRG. Combo is getting the kill over on King Bob. The quick knock, the quick elimination. And Mental now all alone gets hit very, very hard and gets eliminated very, very quickly by PRG Bob. 4 kills to the name of this team. They could surely be going ahead and trying to get a high amount of kills. We have seen a high amount of kills very, very recently. A lot of these guys have been getting 10, 14, 15 kills in these games. They've been hitting high amounts of kills. Hopefully we'll see that again. Moving back over to another SCS squad. They're fighting on a little G-Wagon, fighting on all the vehicles that they can possibly see. Hitting a few shots on the car, trying to at least get a lot of damage onto it. Maybe explode the car if need be. It's a little 20 damage on the shield of the opponents. But nonetheless, it's still this early game very, very slow. It's only zone number 3. 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the timer. As of now, everyone is just playing for their own sake. Just going through and just playing very, very cautiously. 44 players. Once we get to that end game, is really when the action is going to start. Ruined Reels, the home of that new POI that we see over on the left over there. That fire tornado that you can use as mobility. Push yourself all the way high up into the sky and glide wherever you so desire. An island will be spawning in the next couple of zones. Dragon over here going to go head us on over towards that fire tornado, just so we can see Pandora's box a little bit clearly. Dragon only has grey weapons in the inventory right now. Did manage to get revived. Potentially some action that could be over here at Ruined Reels. A couple teams in the area right now. Could be a tiny bit of action with these 17 teams left in this game. Dragon driving the car wildly off the cliff. Don't care, it's a rental. It's completely fine to drive it off the cliff like that. They are going to move through. Enemy shooting at them very, very quickly. The G-Wagon losing a lot of HP in a short amount of time. Will they choose to actually run away and see another day, or will they choose to fight? It does seem like retreating is going to be the smarter option. There's still a lot of people over here at Ruined Reels. We move over to Alpha Lots. Trying to find any sort of angle on the enemy. Sees where they are. Pulls out that sniper. Again, that sniper, we've seen how deadly it can be. We talk about it all the time. Sniping is so incredibly broken at this point in time in the world of Fortnite that it is just a must-have to actually go ahead and win any sort of game. It does seem like, unfortunately, one teammate did disconnect over there or had some network issues, and that is going to result in Pluckies getting the triple kill over there for their team. Pluckies with 3 kills, the name 4 kills total for this team. Bozo, Bushcamp, and Pluckies. Again, names we've seen before, names that we know We've constantly seen them over these past couple of weeks. We are in week number 4. If you're just joining us, this is ASL Fortnite. This is where the future of esports happens, and this is where the action is always going to be hot. And speaking of hot, that fire tornado being used right now for a little bit of mobility, a little bit of movement. Bushcamp are going to go head up towards it as well, use it as movement. Pandora's box has opened, releasing this, and this is what next season is going to be like in just a couple of days. Really excited to see how these guys adapt to the new season that's going to be coming through. Right now, there are 16 teams left alive, 41 players. Bushcamp right now just trying to find any sort of opponent nearby. That tornado, really, really great for getting height, finding where your enemies are. Move over to another team really quickly. It is Enzo. Enzo did have that mythic in the inventory. We see it right there. Sees two opponents, takes the shot. Unfortunately, it does not hit. Now has to build up very, very quickly. Now going to go ahead and grapple blade away, making any sort of distance as quickly as possible. That mythic, very, very good, especially if you go ahead and you hit that sniper shot. Go ahead and just spray down the build, spray through the walls that are trying to be held. You'll go ahead and manage to go ahead and perhaps get an elimination. That mythic is so, so strong. What are your thoughts on the mythics this season? We'll actually see new mythics in the upcoming season as well. Scarlet are going to go ahead and pick up that Flowberry Fizz. Again, so much Flowberry Fizz all around the island, all around the loot pool right now. I do believe they've increased it, which is great for these guys. They have more mobility. Moving on over to another PRG team. PRG Valenci right now. Lizzie. SpongeBob as well. They just looking for any enemies in the distance. Trying to find any sort of angle. Trying to get a few kills. They already have 3 to their name. Again, trying to go ahead and get those placement points as well as those elimination points. Placement points are going to be where it's at right now for the most part for these guys. Using that Flowberry Fizz as well. Mobility with that item is so incredibly useful, especially combining it with a shockwave grenade. But Island has spawned in. Island is trying to be defended over here right now by Gissy. Spraying down anyone gliding towards the island or trying to rotate from it. Gissy just trying to get any sort of shot. Unfortunately, connects with a few, but not effective enough. They have the high ground. The island, not as useful as what it once was, but still very good to actually find out where your opponents are. Find out where you need to be shooting, where you need to be looking. And also that mod bench underneath the house as we saw it over there. There is builds over on a little hilltop. Chef is going to go ahead and mark it out. There's going to be, I believe, Alpha in the distance. Right now, the island being surrounded by 2 teams. It's Skull Rider, Enzo, and Double Trouble right now having an angle on the island. Something that we don't usually see. An angle being held on the floating island. I do believe is a first time seen thing over here on ASL. Skull Rider aiming in with that sniper. Unfortunately, that hollow sight gonna make it a little bit difficult to hit any sort of shot. The Enzo taking the jump pad immediately. Might be pushing in. Might be trying to find a little bit of an angle on the island itself. A bunch of kills going off in the kill feed. But Enzo getting cracked. Not a good decision. Not a wise choice to go ahead and push that. Does have the medallion to slowly tick up the shields. Now has to make a strategic retreat. Just let that shields tick up. Enzo right now we see hiding behind the radio tower, trying to find an angle with that sniper. Takes the shot. Unfortunately, it does not hit. The zone once again moving all the way east. All the way east, and every player now has to move through Pleasant Piazza. Bushcamp with a beautiful little knock with that pump shotgun. Danny going down. Bushcamp going to use the shock waving technique to destroy the builds, to destroy the building. Try to get any shot through. Takes the wall, and just like that, they go ahead and clean up Danny and Chaos. That's a few more kills. Bushcamp on 5. Plucky's on 4. Good amount of kills. Plucky's also has that mythic frenzy shotgun as well. We've seen how much damage that can do. We've seen teams use that shotgun and get around 14 kills in game. So surely we'll see A lot of action with that. They already are on a high amount of kills. All they need to do right now is play for placements, play for at least a first or second place, and a bunch of points is guaranteed for them. Move over to Verdant. We've seen this team as well, Sea Scorpion, Tiger Cat, and Verdant. A lot of these names are going to be very, very familiar, but what is also nice is that we're constantly seeing newer players as well. And if you guys want to be one of those newer players that we see over here on the ASL Fortnite grind, please go ahead, schools.acgl.gg. Go sign up, see if you can get your school added to the list. Latest glitch just hiding under the stairs right now, waiting for any sort of unsuspecting prey to come through. Maybe get a kill that way. 31 players left as the zone is shrinking once more. A lot of shots going over onto Sea Scorpion's vehicle. Everyone on top of that little drone building. The rotate is going to go through towards Fencing Fields, the vineyard of Fencing Fields. Sea Scorpion right now just holding an angle, watching the teammate drive through, and they are in a bush right now, which means they have that tiny element of surprise that they could use. The zone, however, shifting all the way back up towards Ruined Rails. It's almost like Fortnite wants us to notice Pandora's box even more. That fire tornado could come into the end game with the zone moving over towards Ruined Rails. Llama right now sliding all the way down the mountain. We're going to gather some more materials again. We are heading into that in-game portion of our first match. Zone number 7. Everyone needs to go ahead and make sure that they have materials. Bushcamp in the kill feed does get another kill as well. 11 teams left. And I do believe the Storm has claimed a few lives as well. Mr. Savage Duck right now just trying to hold the builds through. He is getting sprayed, currently trying to hold the walls. On the high ground, just cone editing, doing double and triple edits, just trying to go ahead and find any sort of angle on the aggressors. Does them down low, goes ahead and is going to go ahead, try to blow up the vehicle for some explosive damage perhaps. Has to reload the weapon, opts to go down instead of blowing up that vehicle and hold the angle with Mr. Savage Duck. Flow edits coming through, trying to find any sort of angle on the opponents. Quick edits coming through from Misery and Mr. Savage Duck. They're spraying through the balls right now. Wasting a lot of materials, a lot of their own and the enemy's materials as well. Not much movement to go ahead and get out. That Flowberry Fizz, however, going to give that low gravity effect. And there's the shockwave coming through. A lot of distance being made with that. Such a powerful combination. But I do believe that is going to be one of few shockwaves that they had. Gamerbot is going to go ahead and get knocked, unfortunately. Tried to go ahead and get the shots on the shockwaving enemy, but unfortunately does not manage to do so. Bushcamp going to go ahead, get Pluckies, throw Pluckies towards some safety. Potentially try to get the race smartly, trying to throw their teammate into the new zone. However, there is that wall that has been built, but manages to go ahead, throw their down teammate into the safety of a box in the next zone. Speaking of zone, it's moved all the way east into the storm right now of Ruined Rails. This is going to be an 8-tick storm right now. 8 damage per tick. Everyone a little bit low on HP or a little bit low on shields. No one at the full HP that they would desire to be. 10 teams left. 22 players and 10 seconds left on that timer before the zone starts moving. A couple of vehicles in play as well. Shots coming out from Face SpongeBob with that mythic hyper SMG. The zone is moving. Everyone now has to rotate. Everyone has to scuddy for positioning within that zone. A lot of shots going over to Busy. Busy trying to go ahead and get that wall back up. Pick the teammate as much as possible. SpongeBob also now holding up just a little bit. But they have to move. The zone is going to be pulling through. And there it is. Busy unfortunately not getting shockwaved over there. Does have to go on foot. Eyes on top. Seems to be maybe lining up a play with that Fizz. A lot of shots going on right now. Busy does get knocked. Rebel Ray spraying through the builds. Busy does get confirmed as well by Rambo. Bushcamp gets a knock on Tiger Cat. A lot of action going on. Verdant on the low ground as well. Just trying to find any sort of angle. Sees an opponent. The opponent goes ahead. Window edits. Unfortunately does not hit a shot. Verdant right now has to move very, very quickly. The zone pushing through. Gets a lot of shots on the opponent. No movement whatsoever. Has to slowly build. Not a lot of HP. Does unfortunately get knocked. It's all up to Sea Scorpion right now. Building. Trying to go ahead and maybe potentially get the revive. No med kits. No bandages. Just 3 minis in the inventory. Misery looking at a medallion, gonna opt to give it to the teammate, Mr. Savage Duck. Alpha Lots all alone. A lot of solos gonna be within this final in-game. A lot of duos as well. Combo's gonna grapple all the way to the high ground into an opponent. Unfortunately, misses the shotgun shot. Has to box up very, very quickly. He's gonna go ahead and try to take a big pot. Bob on the low ground, taking some minis as well. Peanut getting hit very, very hard. 23 shield left. 86 HP. 9 teams, 14 players. Keva gets a knock on Verdant in the kill feed. Double Ray right now. The zone has to move out of it. 10-tick zone. Gonna go ahead, try to confirm a kill over anything. Storm does manage to take a double. Ray was not going to get out of that. Storm opted to go ahead and get a knock. Get another elimination point for the team. 7 teams left. 10 players left alive. Top 10 players situation. Lucky's he's going to get that Rebel Ray knock. And Rebel Ray is going to get PRG Bob. Push camp on the high ground right now of the cones. Gonna go ahead, spray down with that striker assault rifle. Hits a lot of damage. Misery gonna get a knock on SpongeBob. 6 teams, 9 players. The end game, as hard as it usually is over here on ASL. Bozo trying to find any sort of way around Bushcamp as well. Bushcamp, Bozo, and Pluckies. 3 players on this team. 4 teams left, by the way, and they are on the high ground. 7 players left. Peanut all alone down low. Unfortunately, these are opponents' builds. Has to go ahead and break it, but unfortunately, the zone too strong. 2 teams left. It's a 2v3 situation. This is very, very winnable for the duo. But the trio on the high ground using that Flowberry Fizz. Getting that height, getting that movement. Mr. Savage Duck did get hit a little bit over there. Zone number 10, 4 seconds until it closes. Misery does get knocked. It's all up to Mr. Savage Duck. In a situation like this, the numbers games are way too strong, especially if you're going through and falling into the zone, taking a lot of storm damage. And with 3 HP left, Plucky's Bushcamp. Bozo gets the win. Bushcamp with 12 kills to the name. And just like that, a first victory royale for today. Week 4's action still harder than ever. 12 kills on Bushcamp is not a small number by any means, especially for this. We've seen double digits get hit only a couple times in the past. And once again, over here, GG's over to Bushcamp and the rest of the squad for going ahead and getting that first match victory. But the action is not over just yet. We have another match of ASL Fortnite coming at you very, very quickly. But we're going to take a short intermission. We're going to get the lobby put together for all of you guys. Go ahead, grab some snacks, get something to drink, go use the bathroom if you need to. Come back, kick your feet up, and watch the action of the future of Fortnite right here over on ASL Fortnite. We'll take that intermission. We'll be right back. Back with more action. If you thought we were done, we were only just getting started. That was game number 1. We will head into game number 2 shortly. If you don't know what this is Nitro ASL, brought to you by ASL Nitro and powered by Quark Frontier Act. There's over 500 school students signing up for multiple titles like Fortnite, Valorant, Rocket League, and League of Legends, where we bring the action to you weekly. Today is Fortnite. We've had a bunch of Fortnite over the past couple of weeks. This is week number 4, and we just had an incredible game where we saw 12 kills come out of our victors in that match. Once again, you guys have been asking for Lobby B, and we will be going to Lobby B in just a couple of moments. We'll see exactly what action you guys can bring for us, but the strategies are still pretty much the same within this game right now. Everyone landing on the outskirts of the map, everyone going ahead, looting up, getting as much materials as possible. And that mid-game is slowly starting to heat up. It's slowly starting to warm up, and we are starting to see a little bit more action come zone number 4 and 5. But that in-game still remains extremely hot. That in-game still are the point in time where we see the most action going through. And I have no doubt that we will see that again as we hop into the battle bus one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Battle bus now going all the way from the southwestern side of the map. A lot of players jumping out immediately, potentially going over to Snooty Step. That shotgun's so powerful. Those mythics incredibly useful to get that victory that you need. And again, eliminations and placements do count to your points. Everyone here playing for seeding for term 2, where they will be broken up into a premier division. As of right now, their only priority is to go ahead, get loot, get eliminations, get placement, get materials so that they can build up if need be. Manage to survive until the end game. 21 teams in this game with 56 players. We see a bunch of teams actually pulling their gliders out very early just so they can get maximum distance, make it all the way to the end, get that loot, get that materials from that farthest over there. Just play for the end games. A team landing at Ruined Reels again, that new POI over there. And a bunch of teams going up to Classic Courts and the Rebels Roost as well. Everyone choosing the outskirts of the island for the beginning. That strategy has remained the same for the past couple of weeks right now. This is week number 4. So the action has been fairly consistent over the past few weeks. And even yesterday we saw some incredible action. Everyone using the same strategies, but just heating up a little bit, as I mentioned before, in the mid-game. Going over to DWT over here. Does have low HP already. Could have taken a little bit of fall damage. You know, we won't talk about it. It's okay. But managing to go ahead and get that shields up just a little bit. Dropping shields for the teammates as well. Again, every single week we play this, we see familiar names, but we also see newer names as well. If you want to be one of those newer names, if you want to get a team for this, schools.acgl.gg. See if you can get your school signed up for this. Grand Glacier Hotel, home of Montague and the Montague Nemesis Assault Rifle Mythic, does have a team going after it. Just like that, actually going ahead and getting an elimination over on a PRG member. That is a little bit of a friendly fire over there from PRG, showing who's the slightly better ones over there. But, you know, that's what it's all for. It's all for the pride throughout this ASL Fortnite. Whether it's Fortnite, Valorant, Rocket League, or League of Legends. Everyone playing to be the best that they can possibly be. See exactly where PRG actually goes ahead and gets a retaliation kill over on Misery. Right now they are a duo. They need to play a little tiny bit smarter. Rebels Roost packed up just a little bit over here. People love this little mini vault. This is going to be Plucky's Bozo and Bushcamp. These are the winners of our first game. 12 kills over on Bushcamp in that last game. Can they do it again? Some awesome mode action in the kill feed. A little bit of friendly fire over there as we saw an elimination. Or at least a knock. Move over to the north side of Classic Courts. There's awesome mode right now. As they go ahead and hit a little friendly gritty over on their fellow Osmort mates. As they went ahead and confirmed that kill very quickly. Right now they're just going to go ahead and loot up as much as they can. Another Flowberry Fizz over there. We saw how much Flowberry Fizz bottles were in the last game. How effectively these guys have used it for rotations, for mobility. We'll potentially see a lot of that in this game as well. So far, a little bit of action going on. Still fairly slow. And there does seem to be a knock all the way down south over here. As we move over, there's going to be glitch. And DWT is also downed. Kiwi does seem to be eliminated. As glitch is going to use that crash pad. Bounce all the way up. Only 10 HP, 50 shield. Has to be careful. Going ahead, mantling through. Misses the shotgun shot. Unfortunately, hits the second one. But unfortunately, not hitting that first one is going to result in Mental going ahead and clutching up that 1v1. Now rushing over towards Jordan. Confused in this building, though. A weird feng shui design. Has to find a way to go around to Jordan. Manages to find Jordan and is going to go ahead. Stick that res. That is going to be 3 kills total for Mental and the rest of the squad. Glacier Hotel, there is another knock over there. PRG Valencia very low. Busy did get knocked. SpongeBob also extremely low. Busy is going to go ahead and get revived. Shots coming through the wall from the AI nonetheless. The AI does not want that revive to go through. Valencia going to go ahead and throw a clinger. There's an opponent right above them, however. Valencia is going to go ahead and get knocked. I do believe that was the AI. Again, when you're that low over on HP, you need to be careful. The biggest enemy can be not even the players around you. Montague, the boss, is here. Wants some action. SpongeBob now has to go ahead and run away. That's not a good situation. Valencia and Busy is going to go ahead and get confirmed as well, I do believe. Just like that. SpongeBob now has to retreat. We move over to the PRG team over on the offense. Malky and White Eye Guy. Seen these names before. They are going to go ahead. Take down the boss. Get that medallion. Get that mythic assault rifle. They are going to go ahead and move forward. Clean up the rest of the guards that are out here. Now there's 2 reboot cards that a player is going to have to come back for. And if they just wait it out long enough, they can get a free elimination. While the Sly Guy over on 3 kills. You see where the zone has moved to. The zone is moving slowly east right now. There's going to be everyone on the west side of the map that has to make that rotation very soon. Speaking of the west side, we go over to the little radio tower. It's another PRG team. Combos, Bob, and Llama. They go ahead. They're trying to go ahead and get the information because information so valuable in any game you play. And with Fortnite, it's nonetheless. Llama going to build up on the high ground. Get a beautiful little snipe over there. Manages to hit that shot, get that damage. We move to the action cam to see the knock on Double Trouble. Trying to go ahead and confirm it very quickly. The AI, however, providing covering fire against PRG, Combos, Bob, and Llama. Llama is going to go ahead and confirm those 2 AI. Get rid of them. Now slowly follow the hired AI of the enemies towards where the enemies may be. 19 teams, 45 players, and we're only in zone number 2. Means these guys are playing for the end game, as we have seen before multiple times. Lavish Lair right now. A little bit of action going on. Somebody wants that mythic shotgun. Who is it gonna be that gets it? As we see beautiful shots from Bozo. Managing to crack the opponent. Bushcamp gonna drop all the way down. Spraying through the builds. Trying to get to where that vault is. Does manage to crack the opponent as well. Trying to waste materials of their opponents very quickly. They are in the vault. Not a situation where you want to be. You're literally in between a vault. Bullets coming at you as fast as possible. You're not going to have much materials in there. You're not going to be able to protect yourself forever. Bushcamp, Pluckies, and Bozo knows that. They're playing this out slowly. Perhaps going to go ahead and maybe look for clingers just to ruin this team's day. Bozo watching the angle on them, but there is that third blue team over on the north side of Lavish Lair. The opponents throwing clingers. We spoke of the clingers just a couple of seconds ago. Bushcamp taken down to 1 HP. Those clingers so powerful. And the enemy team in the vault managed to find just enough to go ahead and push the opponents back. Bushcamp now going to go ahead and heal up with a found medkit. And there does seem to be Faru and Kevar in that vault. They are holding their ground. They are standing strong. They are hopefully waiting for any sort of third party to help them get out of this situation. They have that mythic in hand. They have that medallion. And speaking of the third party, it is going to be TMC The rest of the squad that are going to be pushing in from the north side. Bozo, the rest of the squad managed to go ahead and eliminate Kavar and Faru. They have that shotgun. They have that medallion. And now they are in the vault. Do they want to stay in that vault for long enough, though? They know exactly what they did to that team. They put so much pressure keeping them in that vault, basically wasting every single material that they had. Do they want to stay in there for longer than they should? Going over to another team on the outskirts of the island, over on the windmill area. And now they are in a spot where they have to go ahead and move, but gets shotgunned out of the air like it's skeet shooting. Asela's moving all the way up. Has to shockwave away. Does not want to take that fight. 90 HP and 25 shield. Double shockwaving away, making as much distance as possible. Holding up slightly for some sort of cover. He's just going to try to make their way to zone. But that team, they were not expecting a team to be over on the little windmill building. That beautiful pump shotgun out of midair. We move over to TMC, Mask Racer, and Dr. Revenge. They are still at Lavish Lair, waiting for their opponents to show themselves. Sees a rare chest in the distance. Perhaps the opponents will want to go for that juicy loot. Maybe TMC will go ahead and get a snipe on that opponent that'll loot that. However, they are pushing up strong. Know that they're there. Klinger's going out, dealing some damage. Dr. Revenge has no more shields left. TMC getting hit hard as well. As we see the action cam, they pop on the invisibility but take 4 damage. Just trying to sneak away. Master Racer right now editing through, just trying to get under the stairs with the teammate as they're going to drop a turret, potentially to help them. Shieldfish is found. Gonna go ahead and take that, get shields back up. Plucky's Bushcamp and Bozo on the high ground right now, just like in Star Wars. They're trying to find their opponents. Maybe show them the way. Bushcamp right now just peeking through the window. Trying to go ahead and get the water place. Does get the water place. Sees an angle under the stairs. Hits some beautiful shots. And does manage to go ahead and confirm all those kills. Now getting the res on Bozo. Just like that. In a situation like that, you do not want to be in a closed off area. Even if you have that turret that could potentially act as a 4th teammate, you don't want to be in a situation like that, hidden under the stairs. Speaking of a close situation, Mabata over here has to shockwave away in a close situation over there under a cone, using both mobility items, and unfortunately gets eliminated with a long-range shot by Chef and Rambo. Rambo did get taken out as well. Right now, they are in Ruined Reels. Ruined Reels still in the zone. Zone number 3. And it is about to change in just a few seconds. Now Cheats trying to find exactly where the opponents may be. Noxy as well. They know that opponents are here. They heard the shots. They see the enemy through the little gap. But not going to take that shot. Not going to give away their position yet. We see them crouch, stealth, walking away. 36 players left within this. Right now, this team just looting up as much materials as they possibly can. Finding ammo, sharing resources with each other. Not knowing that 2 enemies lie extremely close to where they are. They see a rotation mid-air from that tornado. They're going to spray out the sky. Unfortunately, no shots hitting. Unable to predict the little zigzag movements from whoever that was gliding in. But Island has spawned center zone as well. And we see exactly where the zone is currently. There are a few people on the south side of zone as well. But we are going to move over. Teams rotating in. Starlight are going to get eliminated over by PRG Mr. Nachis. That's just a unfortunate situation of being a duo in a trios game. You lose your teammate, you're basically in a 1v3 situation, and all you can do is run, try to make as much distance as you can, try to come back with that reboot card, and often at times it does not work out. The numbers game too strong. That is going to result in them getting eliminated. Ruined Reels still hotter than ever. A lot of teams over at Ruined Reels. Chef right now crouching as well, knows that there are enemies nearby. Just building up slowly. They're playing the their time. They are on the edge of zone. They are holding out any teams that could potentially come by. And that duo is still on the hill, trying to find any angle, trying to find any sort of rotation. Lambo being slightly aggressive, running all the way through, just sprinting, not worrying about making any sort of sounds whatsoever. They are just holding this little edge of zone. They know that if anyone wants to rotate through ruined reels, they have to rotate through them. Cheats and knocks, you have to go ahead now. Slowly move in as the zone is closing. 34 players still left alive within this game. A lot of players up north. Verdant and Sea Scorpion doing something very, very similar. But unfortunately, Sea Scorpion goes ahead and gets hit very, very hard. 26 HP. A lot of shots coming through. Forced out of zone as a vehicle drives overhead of Sea Scorpion. 25 HP. Unfortunately, in that situation, not going to do much for you. Does get eliminated. It's all up to Verdant right now. Solo, 75 HP. Hiding in what I do believe is a dumpster that you can hide in. It is, in fact, has that invisibility as well to try to go ahead, sneak through, and get the reboot card. 13 teams, 32 players. The island is occupied currently. A lot of players also at the railway right now. I do believe that is mostly AI, but I do think there is one team over here containing Osmod. Go ahead and take down those builds. There's the boss right there. We've seen how the boss can be aggro at the start of this match, actually going ahead and forcing Rez to stop, confirming kills. We do not want to see that happen to any other teams, any other players. That is not a good thing to witness for these guys. Rain coming through as well. Askas does have that striker assault rifle, Nisha's striker AR. Beautiful gun that does so much damage in such a short amount of time. And now they are just playing this very, very slow. They are going to go ahead and focus on the boss. Now the boss, they want that medallion. They want that hyper SMG. They are going to eliminate the boss efficiently, very, very quickly. A lot of damage going through. Spiral is going to go ahead and get that hyper SMG. And right now, picking up the medallion as well. As all teams are trying to go ahead and find position. So moving over to Llama, who took a sneaky little snipe over there. Unfortunately, it did not connect, but they are going to go ahead and grapple slightly closer. A little change of thought over there. Grappling back, sees the builds on the right side. They're going to build up as well. Quickly as ever. Zone number 5. 30 seconds on that timer. The RG Eclipse with a beautiful little snipe over there. Beautiful damage. 13 teams, 34 players. We're seeing a sniper battle currently. You're going to go ahead. Backpack going to go ahead and move slowly into zone while farming a little bit of materials. Clip's trying to look for another sneaky little clip of a snipe. Madden right now over very low. DHP does not want to stay in that zone for longer than need be. They do not want to be out of zone. McLaren actually going to go ahead and get a medkit tossed at them. Unfortunately, that second one, they did not know that second one was coming in. They moved all the way to the outside and actually gets knocked by the zone. This is PRG against PRG. I do need to mention that. I don't think I have just yet. Currently, this battle is PRG against PRG. They are fighting for their egos and their pride of who's the better player. Sackball gets a hit very, very hard. Gonna pop a medkit immediately behind the bush, not staying in the bush. Knows that the bush can be sprayed down at any point in time. The zone moving all the way northeast. Combo is gonna get a medkit thrown. Just gonna top up that 20 HP. Stay at full HP. Bob only missing a couple of HP from there, but that PRG fight. We are bound to see more of these schools go ahead against each other. There's that lock-on pistol. But then gets eliminated by that lock-on pistol. But not Mr. Nachi is going ahead, taking a lot of fall damage over there. High risk, high reward. Unfortunately, that risk is going to pay off with some heals. But that lock-on pistol is still in game. If you haven't seen it around, it does lock onto your opponents, fires 4 shots, and we saw how useful that was in that situation. 28 players left, 35 seconds left on the rotate. A lot of players having to rotate very, very quickly. Why the Sly Guy? As one of their teammates knocked. choosing to grapple away, try to get positioning, try to get a better position in this fight. Maybe just defeat Bozo. Editing through right now. Plucky's Bushcamp and Bozo with a total of 5 kills for the team currently. Plucky does have that mythic shotgun. Make that 7 kills. Bushcamp goes ahead and confirms another one. Editing through, breaking the wall, confirming that kill, confirming kills. We've seen how detrimental it is to an advantage in your battles. Dragon right now has one teammate down, the other one knocked in the zone. Gonna go ahead, jump towards the zone, not picking up the teammate to throw them, instead building a little platform, waiting for the teammate to crawl. Unfortunately, oh no, fortunately they do make it. I do believe that has 1 HP on Slurs, if I'm not mistaken. Managing to go ahead and crawl just fast enough into the zone with 1 HP, and that raise will go through. Rambo right now reloading that beautiful sniper. And find any sort of shot. Chef as well. Chef getting that elimination on Spiral. Spiral bleeding out, unfortunately. In the distance takes the shot as Rambo. Unfortunately does not hit, but that spray hit for 20. Just a little bit of pressure on that opponent. Chef right now going to edit through, heard footsteps behind, and there's the opposing team. Puts that wall back up just before the opponent can actually shoot. Now Rambo and the squad in a situation that they don't want to be in, stuck between 2 teams. Even though if one of the teams is a solo, not a situation that you want to be in, especially if you're trying to go ahead and rotate. And we see on the minimap exactly where the teams are. Zone number 7, 11 teams left, 19 players. Lucky's gets knocked, unfortunately, by Llama. Exactly right now. Every team trying to move through. Danny and Chaos making their way all the way up north. Does get back up. Dragon getting that revive. Clutch it is. Right now just playing it slightly slow. We see that the zone is on a little bit of the lake still. Back to the lake, runs right through the zone. That is the AI, hired AI of an opponent. Blurs fell for it, tried to go ahead and get a kill. Got sniped, unfortunately, but does have that medallion to slowly tick up those shields. Bushcamp on the high ground right now. Sees an opponent in the lake. Or in the river, I should say. And just trying to play for the in-game. Pluckies is down, but Bushcamp and Bozo still alive for their team. Most might have stopped Rebel. They unfortunately down. Rise on top, and Peanut, the only ones left alive, spraying through builds right now, just trying to get any sort of way to waste materials for the opponents. Rise on top, getting shot from the top, unfortunately. Having to edit quickly. Now choosing to just heal up slowly. Everyone right now playing for positioning. 11 teams left. 10 teams left make that. It does unfortunately go down. 10 teams. Zone number 8, an 8-tick storm right now currently, and everyone has to move to the northwestern side of this current zone. You see how many teams are already very, very close to where the zone is. A couple of teams have to go ahead and cross the body of water in the middle. Isn't very, very close to the railway as well. There's a lot of players are going to be rotating under that bridge. I'm going to go through. Moscow has 6 HP. The solo left on the team. They have 7 kills. Trying to play for placements, get high placements, high points. Combos farming up just a little bit, trying to max out the wood. Has a lot of builds. You could always use more. Everything is kind of in the pace right now, where everyone's just trying to find positioning, trying to find a place where they can build their box. Beautiful little palm shotgun from Slurs. Unfortunately, gets caught in the zone. Has to go ahead and rotate through very, very quickly. Quick builds, quick edits. I'm going to go for a snipe and the spray down through the bulls. Does go ahead and hit a few. Elimination over there. Chief getting a little bit of kills. Noxley does go down by Dragon. That elimination will count. 9 teams, 14 players. Zone number 9. The zone starts moving now. Unfortunately, Danny's not going to be able to get that res on Chaos. And he has to go ahead now as a solo. Fight strong, live long. That is the name of the game for Danny right now. Has to go ahead. Beautiful shotgun shots through the bush. Managed to get a little bit of damage over there. But unfortunately, a lot of teams ahead of Danny. Has to play this very, very carefully. Very, very smart. Bob right now. King Bob in the body of water trying to heal up. Unfortunately, that zone just way too strong for how slow that mid kit is going to go ahead and heal. Maskas still 6 HP. Gets hit for 110. Mid grapple. Cheats with that beautiful little snipe. 11 players, 7 teams. We're getting in that situation now. There are going to be players playing for that high ground. Danny gets hit very, very hard, unfortunately. Sliding all the way around those balls, just trying to look around as quickly as possible. We saw that little 360 from Danny. He's trying to make sure that they're in the clear to pop a med kit. Unfortunately, they are getting sprayed at, hiding behind a little thin tree. Combos is on the high ground for PRG. We've seen how important the high ground is for the end game. We've seen how battles have been won from the high ground. 5 teams left, 9 players in this game. Mark down the enemy in a box. Spraying down is Llama, as well as the rest of the team. Bob, a lot of damage on opponents as they try to go ahead and grapple through into the zone. Zone number 10, 20 seconds left on a top 3 team situation. Make that a top 2. It's a 3v2 situation currently. Peanut getting hit very, very hard. 3 HP left. Manages to not take damage from that storm. Slowly gonna tick up with that medallion. But the wall gets sprayed. The med kit gets cancelled and it's gone into the void. It is a 3v1 situation and the numbers game coming through. PRG winning that game with 8 kills. Llama, Combos, and Bob getting that victory royale. The high ground coming in clutch once more. We saw effectively those shots coming from the high ground managed to go ahead and actually get all the shields down to 3 HP nonetheless. And just like that, the damage is just going to be as minimal as possible needed to actually get that knock. And that high ground, of course, going to come to such a good advantage for your team, especially in that final zone. And that's what we're talking about over here on ASL Fortnite. Those end games are hotter than ever, and they're just going to get hotter, especially with an update around the corner. But if you guys want to know how to get your schools involved into this, schools.acgl.gg, try to get your school into this. Because what is this? This is ASL. This is Nitro ASL. This is where the schools go ahead and compete. Over 500 students for multiple titles. Valorant, Fortnite, Rocket League, League of Legends. All brought to you by ASL Nitro, powered by Quark Company. The action is only going to get better over these past couple of weeks. We've seen how the action has grown. We've seen new names. We've seen old returning names from last year. They are all fighting for that seeding for Term 2, where they will be broken up into a premier division. However, that is all the time we have for action today. We will have more action of Fortnite tomorrow. And just go ahead, sign up, so you can get your schools into this, because this is the future of esports. Not only is this going to go ahead and be great for your schools, but for the future of esports in South Africa as well. GG's to the victors of today, winning those games. GG's, and thank you to all of you guys for actually being here watching this fantastic work in the background on broadcast as well. I have been AR, your humble host, and we will see you again tomorrow for more ASL Fortnite action.